Good morning, my dear students. I hope you all are fit and healthy. So students, as you know that we were on the chapter Animal Kingdom. So in this video, we will see another phylum from the same chapter. And the phylum is named as Hemichordata. This phylum, it was earlier considered to be a subphylum of Chordata, but now it is regarded as a separate phylum. So the reason behind this, why it was earlier considered to be a subphylum under Chordata, was the presence of a stomochord. So to understand this, what is stomochord, we will see the general features of the animals which are found in this phylum. Starting with the first point, that is, the animals, they look like worms, so they are worm-like animals, and their body, it is divided into three parts named as proboscis, collar and trunk. So the interior part is known as proboscis, intermediate is known as collar, and then the posterior region or the part is known as trunk. So the body is divided into three parts, that is referred to as proboscis, collar and trunk. This proboscis, it has cilia all over the body. It is basically a muscular and ciliated organ which is helpful in locomotion of the animal. The Bolanoglossus, it is an example of the phylum Hemichordata. So its body is divided into three parts, that is proboscis, intermediate collar and the posterior region, that is known as trunk. The proboscis, it is a muscular ciliated organ which helps in locomotion. Then it is having the collar, and on the ventral side of the collar, means in the back side of this collar, there is a mouth present. So mouth of this animal is found on the ventral side of the collar between the proboscis and the collar. Then this trunk, it consists of pharynx. Pharynx is perforated by gill slits. So we will see in the trunk there is a pharynx. The pharynx, it is perforated by gill slits, and these gill slits, they are used for respiration. And buccal diverticulum arises from the roof of buccal cavity. So from the roof of the buccal cavity, there arises a outer growth that is referred to as buccal diverticulum, and this outer growth of buccal cavity is referred to as stomochord. This stomochord is basically an outgrowth of buccal cavity. This outgrowth, it was earlier considered by scientists that this is a notochord. This structure is a notochord. Therefore, they have considered that this is a subphylum of Chordata. But later on, it was regarded as a separate phylum. The reason behind that is the notochord is always solid in nature, but this stomochord structure is hollow. So the reason is very important. The reason is that this structure, which is referred to as stomochord, it is hollow, but the notochord is always solid in nature. So all these points you have to remember in phylum Hemichordata. Then let us see phylum Chordata. First of all, you should know the three basic chordate features to consider an animal whether it is chordate or non-chordate. So to consider it as a chordate, there should be three chordate features must be present in that particular animal. So what are these features? First one is presence of notochord, presence of nerve cord, then presence of paired pharyngeal gill slits. So when a human baby is born, in the development of the human baby, there are three germ layers we have already studied in 10th class. that in human embryonic development there is a formation of 3 germ layers, and the 3 germ layers, they are named as ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. This ectoderm, it give rise to nerve cord, mesoderm give rise to notochord. So first difference which we have studied here is that the notochord and nerve cord, they arises from 2 types of different germ layers. Ectoderm is giving rise to nerve cord and mesoderm is giving rise to notochord. Then this nerve cord and notochord, we will see how they are looking alike. So to understand this, we will see the general body plan of a chordate. This diagram here represents the general body plan of chordates. So it is a consisting of a complete digestive system, starting from the mouth, ending with anus. So complete body digestive system is there, that is starting with the mouth and ending with anus. But there is a post-anal tail present. Post-anal tail means at the end of the anus there is another structure present that is referred to as tail. So this is very unique feature of chordates. In chordates, post-anal tail is present. However, in non-chordate animals there is no post-anal tail present. This is very important feature. Then another feature is the presence of the nerve cord and notochord. So what is nerve cord and notochord? When the human, we will consider it taking the example of human. When a baby is born, there are 3 germ layers. During the embryonic development, there is the formation of the 3 germ layers that is referred to as ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So this ectoderm, it is inducing the formation of nerve cord. It is giving rise to nerve cord, and nerve cord is formed by ectoderm. So this nerve cord is ectodermal in origin. And then mesoderm. Mesoderm is giving rise to notochord. So ectoderm induces mesoderm to form solid structure that is referred to as notochord. This is notochord is a solid in nature and nerve cord is hollow. This nerve cord again give rise to brain and spinal cord. But the notochord, it is replaced by vertebral column. So the nerve cord, it gives rise to brain and spinal cord. So let us assume this is the brain and this is the spinal cord arising. So the nerve cord in adults, it will give rise to, not in adults, when the development of the embryo is taking place, this nerve cord, it will differentiate to 2 parts that is referred to as brain and the spinal cord. And this notochord, it is replaced by vertebral column. It is not changed to vertebral column, it is replaced by vertebral column. So what are these vertebral columns? These are the bony coverings which are surrounding the spinal cord. These are the vertebral column. These are basically the bony coverings which are surrounding the spinal cord. So there is the differences between nerve cord and notochord is that the nerve cord, it is ectodermal in origin and the notochord, it is mesodermal in origin. Nerve cord is hollow in nature, notochord is solid in nature. Nerve cord, it will give rise to brain and spinal cord, and notochord, it is replaced by vertebral column. So let us see and try to understand the general body plan of chordates using this diagram. This is a general body plan of a chordate animal. So here the body is divided into number of parts we will see. First one is mouth and then there is a anus. This means complete digestive tract is found in animals under phylum Chordata. So complete digestive system is found, starting with mouth, ending with anus. And this is the pharynx. In the pharynx there are gill slits present. Pharyngeal gill slit, basically this is present in the embryonic form. In our embryo this pharyngeal gill slit is present, but not in adults. In the embryonic stage the pharyngeal gill slit is present. Then another feature is the presence of the notochord. Notochord is present and there is a dorsal hollow nerve cord. So notochord and nerve cord. The notochord is solid in nature and nerve cord is present, which is hollow in nature, and there is a complete digestive system starting from mouth and ending from anus. There is a pharyngeal gill slits in the pharynx, and this pharyngeal gill slits are present in human case. It is found only in the embryonic form. This indicates we have developed from animals like fishes. So it means our ancestors are fishes. Now let us see this phylum Chordata. It is further classified into subphylums. So let us see. In the phylum, in the classification of animals, we have observed on the basis of presence or absence of notochord, there are two types of animals, non-chordates and chordates. In non-chordates, notochord is absent, and the phylums which we have studied were Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. And in Chordata, this phylum is again divided into subphylums. It is Urochordates, Cephalochordates and Vertebrata. So the subphylums under phylum Chordata are Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Urochordata and Cephalochordata subphylums, they together be considered as Protochordata. Then this Vertebrata, it is divided into two groups, Aganatha and Ganathostoma. So Aganatha means the animals which will be found in this, they will lack the jaws, and in Ganathostomata the animals, they will have the jaws. They will bear the jaws, just like in humans we are having jaws. Similarly in Ganathostomata animals, they will bear the jaws, and Aganatha means they will lack the jaws. In this Aganatha there is another class which we will study, that is Cyclostomata. In this Cyclostomata there is a succutorial mouth is present. If jaws is absent, means the animal will feed by sucking mechanism. So succutorial mouth is present. Then in Ganathostomata, the animals, they bear jaws, and it is again divided into two superclasses named as Pisces and Tetrapoda. This superclass Pisces is again divided into class Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes, and Tetrapoda is again divided into classes Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. So this is the general classification of the phylum Chordata. Now let us see what are the general features of subphylum Urochordata. Subphylum Urochordata, it is also known as Tunicata phylum, subphylum. Urochordata means, here Uro means tail and chordata means rod, means notochord is present only in the larval tail. So in the larva of the animals tail, in the larva tail, notochord is present. So if this is the, let us assume this is the larva, in the tail only notochord is present. Only in the tail region notochord is present. Then the animals general features, three general features you have to do in this phylum. So first one is they are bat-like sessile degenerated animals. Sessile means they are attached to any body and attached to any substratum. They are bat-like animals. The example given in your book are Herdmania and Ascidia. If you will observe Herdmania, it is looking like a bag and it is always attached to a substratum. So the animals, they are bat-like and sessile animals. And subphylum Urochordata, this means that the notochord, it is present only in the larval tail. So another unique feature is that there is a phenomenon referred to as retrogressive metamorphosis. The nerve cord and notochord, they are lost in the adult stage. This means that when the animal is in the larva stage, only at that time notochord and nerve cord are present in the tail region, but it is lost during metamorphosis. When this larva develops and change into adult, then the nerve cord and notochord are lost, and in adults there is no nerve cord and notochord. So only chordate character is the presence of the gill cleft. The examples which you have to do are Herdmania and Ascidia. Then we will see the subphylum Cephalochordata. In subphylum Cephalochordata, cephalo means head and chordata means rod. This means that notochord, it is persisting, it continues from head to tail and it is present throughout the life. Here we have observed that the notochord and the nerve cord is present in the tail region and in larval stage. But in Cephalochordata, the notochord, it is present from head to tail throughout the life. And the animals, they are like fish, marine-like animals, fish-like and marine animals, and they possess throughout their life three general basic features which we have studied, that is notochord, nerve cord and gill slit. And in them tail persists throughout their life. The example which you have to do is Amphioxus, and this is also known as Branchiostoma. So this is about your subphylum Cephalochordata. So today we have studied about phylum Hemichordata. We have studied the example Bullanoglossus, that its body is divided into three parts: proboscis, collar and trunk. Then we have seen the three basic chordate features: notochord, nerve cord, pharyngeal gill slits. Then we have observed the general body plan of chordates, and we have seen the classification of the phylum Chordata, how it is classified into different subphylums and groups, and further classes and superclasses. After that, we have studied the general characters of subphylum Urochordata. This Urochordata is also known as Tunicata subphylum, and in this we have studied the example Herdmania and Ascidia. Only the name of the example you have to learn, and the three general features you have to learn here. Then the subphylum Cephalochordata, three distinguishing features you have to do here is that the notochord is present from head to tail throughout life, and all the three chordate features, that is notochord, nerve cord and gill slit, they are present throughout their life. But in subphylum Urochordata, we have observed that in adult form, there is only chordate character which is present was gill cleft. But when the animal is in adult form, there is absence of nerve cord and notochord. But in Cephalochordata, if we observe very carefully, that we will find that it possesses all the three main chordate features, that is notochord, nerve cord and gill slit throughout their life. And the examples are Amphioxus and Branchiostoma. So this is all for today. Take care everyone.